Welcome to my channel, for what it's worth. And thanks for dropping by. I appreciate you more than you know. And let me see, today I really don't have any life principles to share, except that it's always fun to try new things and feed your dreams. And that's what I was doing this week when I went out shopping. Found a couple of vintage patterns, feeding my dreams, and then making the dream a reality by using one of the patterns. So here's the story on how all of that happened. And if you have a pattern you'd like to share with me, feel free to do so. If you have a life principle you want to share with me, go ahead and do that, because I don't know it all.
I went to one of our thrift stores, local thrift stores, and the one I prefer is called Seconds Count, and all the proceeds for that place go to the hospital, so it's great. So I go in there and I just browse around. Sometimes it's just a relaxing activity for me. Sometimes I get ideas. I like to see people's artwork that's been loved and used and dropped off at the Seconds Count. And I'm always amazed at what people create. And I can imagine the stories behind some of these items that are on sale, like wooden carved bowls and candlesticks, even out of wood. I gravitate towards the wood items. There's all kinds of stuff in the store, but I usually go in and look for wood. So this week when I was looking for wool items, and I perused through absolutely every single wool knitting pattern book and patterns that they had, and I came up with two that are oddly enough from 1983, and I say that's odd because that's when my first daughter was born, 1983. And so these two patterns, I think you might be able to call them vintage patterns. I looked online, haven't been able to find them online, so I don't think there's any problem with me sharing them. I typed up the patterns, all the details. I need to go over it and just make sure I've got all the details right, and I'm going to share them with you. So I've got the pictures, and if you want to stop the screen and do a screenshot, you can, of the pattern, because I took photographs of the pattern itself, and then I also typed it up. So I'll keep those, or I'll put those in the description box below. Vintage patterns, and they are summer cotton tops, which I think you could use a linen cotton blend or any lightweight wool. So I live in Canada, honestly, and I'm working on my tank top. This is my third tank top. Don't you love the colors? Look at the way they stripe when you do knit and purl, like up in here, but then when you get it on the circular needles, they start pooling. I love that. It's a very neat effect. What was I saying? This is my third tank top, and I think that if you use a pattern and use it, do it more than once, you gain skill and it keeps things interesting. So these two patterns that I'm going to share with you are summer tops, and I think they would be fun to knit up.
The first top is a basic garter stitch, just knitting each row back and forth. You start from the bottom, you work your way up. You do a knit and purl ribbing, and you can make that whatever length you want. I think they've got it here for about 4 inches. And then as long as you know how to cast off a few stitches or increase a few stitches, it should work great for you. Then the second top, I like this because it's very versatile. You could do any lace pattern in the front that you want. You knit 2 pieces, a front and back. You could make the back a different color if you want, and then when you wear it, let's say you do a white front and a blue back, you could flip it around on another day and say, okay, today it's going to be blue. I'm wearing blue today. I am knitting the second pattern, and I'm doing a different lace design across the front than what they have done. And when I do the back piece, I'm just going to do a knit and purl on the back. I'm using this Capri Tencel yarn, and I think that I'll probably use about 1.5 balls of this. It says it's a number 3, and let me see what else we got here. I should be able to just wash it in the washing machine and not worry about it. It says to dry it flat. Don't iron because you'll stretch out the wool. And there's 273 yards included in this particular yarn. It's loops and thread, and I bought it at Michael's. And in fact, there was only one at my local Michael's store, and then I was working in a town south of me, and I was able to pick up the second ball. So, but I'm pretty sure it'll be about 1.5, and it's very soft. I like this Tencel yarn. I was looking it up, and I'm pretty sure that it is made from flax. Go figure. So if you try these out, let me know. Okay, I stand corrected. Tencel is a yarn type like rayon, and it's made from wood pulp apparently. So does that make it a natural fiber? I think it might be. Either way, whatever the process is that they use, it's very soft, easy to work with. You should try it out at least once.